Whether you're a seasoned chef or just starting your culinary journey, Coulee Region Cooks is your new podcast resource. Discover new techniques, hear from local culinary heroes who are mastering the art of the kitchen. Join us every Thursday morning at 10 on WIZM. Stream your favorite cooking tips, local chef interviews, and mouth-watering recipes on the WIZM app. Or find us on your favorite podcast platform. Stay updated and engaged by following us on Facebook. Just search Coulee Region Cooks today.
It's only 3 days left working from 9 to 5. Then it's party time. Party time. Just a little more work to do. Let's get on up and get the damn thing through. Then we'll get back to numbing our minds.
Holy crap, it's hump day already. And look who's back. Are you there? I don't think your mic's plugged in. Jean is here.
I am.
There she is.
Hi.
All right. Welcome back.
Thanks.
How are we feeling? Better?
We are on the mend.
Okay.
That was something.
Hump day means your chance to win my morning show money later on with your Killin Me Shaws. It's only $10 this week, so no real pressure. What else? Valentine's Day today, right? Mm-hmm. Ash Wednesday.
Yep.
We'll get into some Valentine's Day stuff a bit later on. Shaw in the newsroom for 3 ways and bad news, happy music. Get to our daily check-ins. Already getting text messages from people who are up early and working this morning. Chad texted in, wanted to hear some Volbeats. Dan wanted to hear some Disturbed. We'll try to get to both of those. If you want to get in touch with us this morning, visit rockmornings.com. That's rockmornings.com.
More of your Rock Mornings coming up in just a bit.
Scott Robert Shaw in the newsroom. Gina's back after a couple days off. Got the gang together again. Up near 50. And then what the hell's happening during the overnight?
Some snow, heavy snow at times.
What?
Yeah, 1 to 3 inches expected in La Crosse. Some areas to our north could see up to 5 inches. But it's going to move in and out pretty quickly, as a matter of fact. Going to probably change to snow after starting as rain, changing to snow after about 2 a.m. And by morning, the snow should be ended already.
So what time can we expect this to kind of get? Is it during the overnight?
During the overnight, yep.
All right, so 10, 11, 12, somewhere around there, and then it changes to snow?
Snow after 2 a.m., they're saying.
Okay, and but... For real? 3 to 5 inches?
Yeah.
1 to 3 here.
But then warm again, so it's just going to melt. It's going
to be. We'll be below freezing tomorrow, but by Sunday, looking at 37, back in the 40s by Monday. So,
all right. So a quick swing through,
yep.
right?
Just a reminder, we're not done with the winter yet.
Was it 3 snows on a robin's back?
Mm-hmm.
So would this be 1?
I don't know. It feels like it's even too early to be talking about. It's so February. It's February 14th.
Yeah, it's half over.
We've
been lucky so far. Yeah.
It's been a weird one.
Of course, it's Valentine's Day. It's Ash Wednesday. Lent. Are you giving anything up, Shaw? You
hadn't thought about it, so I guess not.
Giving up bacon? Close enough, right? Mr. One Strip?
Yeah.
Gene, are you doing anything Lent-wise?
No, but I did make, I enjoyed eating a Cajun pasta last night because it was Fat
Mardi
Tuesday.
Gras Fat Tuesday? Yeah. Yeah, it's also Library Lovers Day and National Ferris Wheel Day. Don't know how those all fit in on Lent, but I don't think I'm giving anything up either. I'm not really a practicing, obviously, Catholic, so. But if you see people coming into your office today and they got the thing on their forehead.
Yeah, don't tell them to wipe it off. They know it's there.
They know, yeah. You would hope they would know it's there, Shaw. I mean, that's generally the case, right? I know. There's a guy that put it there for me, actually. Might be some people out there that are unaware that that's what happens on Ash Wednesday. Three-way with Shaw in the newsroom. What's actually happening in the world today?
Well, the defense attorney for murder suspect Nia Tao has withdrawn from that case. Corey Mellows had represented Tao during his first trial last summer for a triple homicide at a quarry near West Salem. That trial ended with a hung jury, and Tao is awaiting a second trial scheduled for this coming August. During a hearing yesterday, the attorneys and Judge Elliot Levine discussed a questionnaire to be given to potential jury members. There's another postponement in the case of a man who crashed through a gate at the La Crosse airport airport and allegedly tried to hijack a private plane. A doctor had asked for extra time to complete a mental evaluation of 32-year-old Cody Anderson. The next hearing for Anderson will be on February 21st. Anderson, who's from Idaho, was declared competent for trial back in December and pleaded not guilty to 6 counts, including a bomb scare and making terroristic threats. Witnesses said Anderson was carrying knives and threatened to blow up a plane during that airport incident in November. Donald Trump is expected in court for an important hearing in his New York hush money criminal case, which now appears increasingly likely to go to trial next month. The judge is expected to rule tomorrow on key pretrial issues and say for certain if the former president's trial will begin as scheduled on March 25th. If that happens, the New York case will be the first of Trump's 4 criminal indictments to go to trial. The recent postponement of a March 4th trial date in Trump's Washington, D.C. election interference case cleared the way for the hush money trial to start on time. Trump's lawyers have asked the judge to dismiss the case entirely. Wisconsin Republicans are moving closer toward passing a $2 billion tax cut plan. The state assembly passed the legislation yesterday. It now goes to the state Senate, where Senate Majority Leader Devin LeMahieu said he supports the plan, but it's unclear where Governor Tony Evers stands. This legislation mirrors a package that Evers had vetoed back in November. The Assembly Republican Majority Leader said it delivers a middle-class tax cut, but the Democratic Minority Leader said the cuts would disproportionately benefit the wealthy and drain the state's $7 billion state surplus.
What's your special meal tonight, Shaw?
We're going to go fettuccine Alfredo.
Oh, you putting anything in it? Chicken?
Yeah, blackened chicken.
Blackened chicken?
Mm-hmm.
All right. You got a jerk rub?
Yeah, it's a blackening seasoning.
Ooh. Cast iron?
No, I'll just saute them in a regular saute pan.
Right.
Lay them on top of the delicious creamy Alfredo.
Any vegetables in there? Broccoli florets or anything like that?
No vegetables.
No veggies.
We'll have a salad on the side.
Oh. Mr. Fancy. Nice bottle
Having a
of
salad?
Nice bottle of Chench as well.
Yeah, of course.
All right. Is Chianti what pairs well with fettuccine Alfredo? Or
I think we're going with a red blend.
a red blend?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Gene, do you? I know you said you did some fettuccine Alfredo last night, or you did like a
Cajun pasta thing.
Cajun pasta?
I don't know, man. I don't know. There's
You know, it's for lunch, much less dinner.
yeah, and I was able to spread the wealth of my sickness to other
Throughout,
people in my in my family.
They're very happy with you?
Yeah, we're just gonna try Dayquil and
Just trying
some
to get through the day.
Advil. We're just
All right.
trying to get through the day.
No romantic dinner tonight,
No,
then?
and I was gonna get chocolates and the stuff for Valentine's over the weekend, and none of that happened. So it's like, yeah. I did order some flowers for my mother, though. I was able to make a phone call and take care of that. So.
Yeah, if you didn't order flowers already,
Yep.
you might be.
Yeah.
You'd be waiting until Friday, where you can get those things delivered. But then you can say, "I'm sorry."
Yeah.
Sorry, flowers, Shaw. Those are good.
Sure.
I think we're going pork loin tonight. Took one out of the freezer last night and throw that on the grill. Do some kind of au gratin potatoes. That's what my wife enjoys. Vegetables, something like that. Pretty basic, but
So none of us going out to eat tonight.
no, maybe like Friday night we'll try to find a spot. But yeah, no dinner tonight out on a date or anything like that. That's for sure. You're gonna be busy though if you're trying to find a spot in a restaurant. There's gonna be a lot of people out there. Valentine's Day. More on that a bit later on. Also, sports coming up in just a bit. First, the Struts. It's Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene.
Rock Mornings. On air, online, on the app.
Got a text from Rob who said, "Happy baseball season, guys. Pitchers and catchers reporting today." Not all of them, but most ball clubs right around this time of year get their pitchers and catchers to report. Play a little game of catch. Start working on things. Welcome in the new guys. Very excited. February 24th, I believe, is the first Brewer preseason game, so we're only about 10 days away from that.
Ooh.
I know, right? Opening day will be here before you know it. We are taking a bus trip from La Crosse and Eau Claire to go to opening day at Miller Park, a.k.a. AmFam Field.
That's a party.
Looking forward to that being online at wiscotrips.com here shortly. Maybe by the end of the week. Elsewhere in sports, the Bucks lost to the Heat last night, 123-97. Boy, they're up and down. They cannot figure it out right now. Bucks are off until tomorrow night when they are in Memphis to face the Grizzlies. That'll be a 7:30 tip. That game on TNT tomorrow night. And then, of course, this weekend, the All-Star festivities in the NBA. Steven Crowell had 16 points and 10 rebounds. A.J. Storr added 14 and 12. Number 20, Wisconsin, snapping a 4-game losing streak with a 62-54 win over Ohio State last night. Badgers are at unranked Iowa on Saturday. That game 1:15 on the Big Ten Network. Only 6 games left, I think, in the regular season before the Badgers start with the tournament. March Madness right around the corner, baby. Mm-hmm. Iowa women's basketball, number 4 ranked in the nation, will be at home against unranked Michigan tomorrow night at 7 p.m. on Peacock. Caitlin Clark now just 8 points away from setting the all-time NCAA D1 women's scoring record.
I didn't miss it. I was kind of out of things, and I didn't know. And now she's got.
Yeah, she only got 31.
So she plays like 2 minutes, and then it's going to happen. Is that it?
Yeah, 1 possession. She's going to get all 8 points in 1 possession.
Okay, great.
Toronto Maple Leafs defenseman Morgan Riley suspended for 5 games by the NHL Department of Player Safety for a cross-check to the head of Ottawa Senators forward Ridley Greig. On Saturday night, Riley hit Greig with a stick after the Senators rookie scored an empty net goal with a slap shot from close distance with 5 seconds to go, and that's a rookie thing. He'll figure it out. Once you're in the league for a few years, those veterans will toughen you up, and you'll figure it out. But yeah, you can't be shooting slap shots with an empty netter when you're up by 2-3 goals or whatever the hell it was with 5 seconds left in the game. Yeah. You got to expect that cross check, and I'm sure Morgan Riley's more than happy to take the 5 games and put a little something on the back of that guy's head, a little knot on the back of his head. Expanded college football playoff is staying with ESPN. They have signed an extension with the college football playoffs to televise for another 6 seasons. ESPN's original contract went through the 2025-2026 season. The extension worth a reported $7.8 billion with a B. And next year will be the first year with 12 teams in the college football playoffs as opposed to 8. Baseball, baby. Opening day should be a national holiday.
Here.
Much like the Monday after the Super Bowl should be a national holiday, right?
So should baseball.
Opening day in baseball. All the teams playing all over ESPN, TNT, MLB.com, whatever it is, just everywhere. And, everybody gets the day off to go and watch baseball. Obviously, for someone who does mornings on the radio, it's not too bad because I'm done by 10, 11 o'clock anyways. But for everybody else, it's got to work, a working stiff 9 to 5 type thing. It's got to suck on the opening day of baseball.
The official
End of March,
spring,
right?
Yeah.
End of March?
28th.
28th, I believe. Yeah.
Play.
All right. Tim Montana coming up in just a bit. Also, some more from Scott Roberts.
If you're running your business, maybe a nonprofit, you probably have a website, and it probably has issues, small to big problems you don't have time for. Websticks is a company with over 20 years creating and fixing thousands of websites. You only pay for the help you need. Have a little issue? Buy a few blocks of time. They never expire. It's kind of brilliant. That's why we bought the company. Go to MidwestFamilyLacrosse.com, a Midwest family company.
Stunning sights, more clicks, web support from Websticks.
Shaw, Valentine's Day.
Rock Mornings with Brian, Gene, and Shaw.
Guess what day it is?
Love is in the air.
Guess what day it is?
Love is in the air.
Woo-wee, boy, I love Valentine's Day.
You're so beautiful.
Well, the things we do for love.
Looks like Cupid just shot his arrow.
It was love at first sight.
Valentine's Day is the best holiday of the year.
It was love at first sight.
Happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
Showtime.
Best holiday of the year? Who is smoking that crack? Not even close.
No.
Not even in the top 10. I would barely even consider it a holiday, Shaw.
Mm-hmm. It's an excuse to sell greeting cards.
Which is a movement that I can get behind. The Anti-Valentines movement, Shaw.
I've heard of this. It's gaining steam, too.
It's picking up steam, bitches. One thing's for sure, Gene. Love stinks. Yeah, yeah. Do you or someone you know hate Valentine's Day? then this is for you.
Okay.
The Anti-Valentine's Day crowd, which is also trying to sell you crap. Anytime someone sees a chance to put it on a T-shirt, Shaw, they're going to do it.
You got it.
Obviously, a lot of people, Shaw and myself included, think that Valentine's Day is a Hallmark holiday, right? It's designed to get you to spend money. Like, why are mattresses on sale on President's Day? How does that have anything to do with honoring the presidents of years gone by, right?
Love stinks.
While Valentine's Day, of course, cards, candy, flowers, expensive dates, gift cards, whatever it is, right? Massages, jewelry, so many things to spend money on, Shaw. Single people think that it's harmful because they feel left out and rejected. Right? You're over there at the loser table. You're at the singles table, right? They have a whole table for you at the wedding. The people who couldn't find dates because they're losers. And they're generally in the way back right by the exit. They're getting served the meal last. It's cold. The steak's overcooked. You know what I'm saying.
Well, there's all of those different organizations that sell, like, the cat to poop on your ex's face, or all those things that are being celebrated also today.
Another part of the argument about Anti-Valentine's Day, Shaw, is that kids in school, especially teenagers who don't have a Valentine's, can be more harmful towards them because they're obviously not emotionally mature.
Well, it
Are
stinks,
any of us?
right?
Are any of us? Well, yeah, you see your friends making out with their boyfriends and girlfriends, and you're in the hallway.
Or maybe
like,
you've recently been dumped. It's like, man.
Well, yeah, you dump them right before the holidays, so you don't have to buy them a present, right, Shaw?
We've heard that.
Yeah. You dump them before the Christmas, Shaw, then you don't have to get them presents.
You don't have to get them anything now.
Because of that, more and more people are coming out against Valentine's Day, even celebrating their hatred for it. Etsy, by the way. This is, home crafts, right? People making crafts at home.
All sorts of stuff, yeah.
Etsy saw 14% more searches for Anti-Valentine's Day merch this year, and 34% more searches for shirts with sayings like, "Love is in the air, try not to breathe." The National Retail Federation found that 3% of people plan to buy Anti-Valentine's Day gifts this year. So, again, you're feeding into the machine, man. Do you not get how it works? You're in, you're out, you're buying stuff. I mean, come on, man.
They got you either way.
Well, is it stuff for yourself then?
Well, I
Like
think well, you know, there's people.
I can get behind that.
Much like any other holiday, there are people that overdo it, right? With the Christmas decorations, things like that. So to counteract those people, there's the Anti-Valentine's Day people who overdo it with the shirts and the coffee mugs and the pens and pencils and all that. A big poll this month found only 17% of us, by the way, enjoy Valentine's Day more than an average day. So it's not like a ton of people out there are like feeling the love on Valentine's Day. It's only about 17% of people compared to just any other Tuesday or Wednesday during the month of February, Shaw. But you could join a movement. Do you get to break into the White House with that one?
I don't think so.
No? With the Anti-Valentine? No? Is that not a... No?
With a Cupid is stupid shirt on or something?
Look at you. Or you could just not buy anything and just go home.
Pretend it's another day.
Nah, I'm good.
Just go home and make some dinner. Watch some TV. Go to bed. I don't know.
That's why I dig St. Patrick's Day so much, because there literally is, you don't have to do, other than my mother, because she's Irish and she makes us all honor her with cards and things. You don't have to do
Bow
anything.
before me.
You can it's just a party. It's, it's like, yay, it's spring. Let's drink some green beer and
drinking holidays are the best.
And
Cinco de Mayo, sure.
There's nothing else than that, Shaw.
New Beer's Eve, right?
Love that.
What's the one before Thanksgiving Eve? What's the one before? Is that New Beer's Eve? The one where everybody goes home
and goes out
meets all their old friends.
Yeah, it's like one of the biggest drinking days of the year because everybody's home for the holiday. They go out drinking with their old high school buddies. Those holidays I can get behind, Shaw. I don't need a shirt or a card or anything for that. Anti-Valentine's Day movement. It's a thing. Look it up. Bad Wolves in a few minutes. Right now, Shaw, with some news. What do we got?
Well, the city of La Crosse could get its first significant snow in a month by tonight. The National Weather Service predicts La Crosse has a 72% chance of seeing an inch of new snow, but a lesser chance of getting 2 inches or more. Higher amounts are predicted around Tomah and Viroqua. 1 to 5 is the forecast for Eau Claire. La Crosse's last measurable snow happened a month ago when the city got about an inch of snow on January 13th. The suspect awaiting his second trial for a triple homicide homicide in West Salem may need a new lawyer. Yesterday, attorney Corey Mellos withdrew from the Nia Tao case after serving on Tao's defense team during a trial last June. The jury could not agree on a verdict in that case, and Tao is scheduled to be tried again this summer. Tao was one of the 2 suspects charged with the murders of 3 men at a quarry in 2021 over a $600 debt. The other suspect, Cam Radensack, pleaded guilty to a murder charge and was sentenced in January to life in prison. Tao is expected to have another court hearing in May. The idea of a civilian committee to review law enforcement in La Crosse County has been studied for a couple of years now. Well, this week, county supervisors could vote to actually create a civilian review board to look at local police activity.
Oh, we had one.
No, they've been working to form one.
Oh, okay.
This would formalize that effort. La Crosse's mayor, Mitch Reynolds, says such a board should not try to tell his city what to do.
I would not allow for there to be oversight of the city police department by the county. This is a county board, and that's just not something that we would allow. That's not the job of the county to oversee La Crosse police activity. That's just not something I would allow.
Reynolds says the city of La Crosse has not been interested in the review board idea or pushed for it. One recent opinion poll conducted by the county reportedly showed 70% of those responding were against creating such a board.
He must be looking to run again if he's saying things like that.
Popular
Sean.
Things, yes.
Wow, that doesn't seem like anything I would expect to come out of his mouth.
Well, I think he makes a valid point. I mean, this is a county committee that would be looking at city activity. I mean,
so he's not against a city committee looking at city activity.
He hasn't said he's for it either. I think, the way it's structured now, he's saying he's against it. So the state legislature has passed a bill requiring the University of Wisconsin-Madison to admit all high school students who finish in the top 5% of their class. Other UW campuses would have to admit those in the top 10% under a bill passed yesterday. This was part of a deal reached between the legislature and university that also limits diversity positions at the system's 24 campuses in exchange for money to cover staff raises and construction projects.
This is my deal, Wade. My deal.
And Stephen Crowell had 16 points along with 10 rebounds. A.J. Storr added 14 as number 20 Wisconsin finally snapped its 4-game losing streak with a 62-54 victory over Ohio State last night.
Much needed.
Wisconsin now improves to 17-8 on the season.
Yeah, they, boy, again, 3 losses to unranked teams in the last week and a half. They really needed this one to kind of, get back on the right side of things with 4 losses in a row.
And that Michigan loss was embarrassing. Michigan's the worst team in the conference.
Terrible, especially after all that crap with Juwan Howard. And what was that? The
bad blood between those two teams.
What was that? The round of 64 or whatever it was a couple of years ago. That was in the first round of the March Madness tournament, or was that in the Big Ten?
I think it was the Big Ten tournament.
Okay, yeah, the bad blood there.
Grabbed one of the Badger coaches.
Yeah, he did. There was a slap as well, wasn't there? Wasn't there a slap?
I think so.
And Caitlin Clark tomorrow night on Peacock?
Correct. Against Michigan. She will try to become the NCAA women's all-time leading scorer in basketball.
Just needs 8 points?
9, I think, maybe 8.
I think it's 8 to pass. Yeah. Do you guys have, party poppers or
are you?
We'll watch it for sure. I mean, we'll definitely watch it.
You're not going to light off fireworks or run naked through the streets or anything like that? You're not going to. You don't have
Probably not going to go that far.
Expensive bottle of Chardonnay you're going to pop open? You have some bubbly?
No. Maybe if they win the national championship, we'll do
in the club, bottle full of
So she's just going to keep racking up these points through the rest of the season and playoffs, and then set the bar even higher for the next person.
I don't think they count the playoff points as part of your.
Oh, it doesn't.
Or is that just the NBA and WNBA?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but she's got a handful of games remaining in the regular season to add to her total. So.
And I think she's still got 1 year of eligibility left, right?
She does, although the common school of thought is that she will be leaving for the WNBA after this season. So,
yeah, I don't.
Exciting, very exciting.
She's going to get it. There's no doubt about it. I mean, unless God forbid she gets injured or something. But well, I'm sad to hear that you don't have any sort of celebratory plans, Shaw. I thought for sure you guys would be doing something.
Well, we'll watch. We'll cheer her on.
Well, that's mundane.
Be on Zoom or something with your kids, Shaw?
I don't know if they feel quite the same level of passion.
Really? Kids don't feel passion for things that adults feel passion for? That's shocking to hear, Shaw. I'm shocked to find that out. Never heard that before.
Rock mornings, only on 95.7 The Rock.
Bad Wolves, remember when? Rock mornings with Brian, Gene, and Shaw. More from him in a bit. Plus your Killin Me Shaws just after 8. Giving you a chance to win $10 of my morning show money.
Now I'm looking at that snow for our entire area. Now Eau Claire.
So what are we getting? 3 to 5 in La Crosse and 1 to 3 in Eau Claire?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. 1 to 3. Now that chance of snow is 90%. So it sounds like we are going to get precipitation, rain, and that should change over depending on the overnight temperatures tonight and into tomorrow morning. So I would expect that to be impactful on your commute to work. Throughout the region, we're looking at, 1 to 3, very wet and hard to shovel probably, but then melting right away.
Shovel, I'm not shoveling.
You're just going to wait?
I'll just wait it out. Yeah, I'm not going to bother. No thanks.
I mean, it looks like rain, and then it's going to change over on the overnight and down to 23, so that's going to...
Television tonight, I Can See Your Voice over on Fox. The Price is Right at night on CBS. It's a Valentine's Day special. Let's Make a Deal in prime time, also on CBS. Singles Appreciation Night, so even the TV shows are trying to capitalize on the fact that it's Valentine's Day. The 3rd season premiere of Resident Alien on Sci-Fi and USA tonight. Tyler Perry and Hilary Swank going to be on with Jimmy Fallon. Pedro Pascal and Gwen Stefani going to be on with Jimmy Kimmel. Colbert's got Marky Mark and Lily Gladstone. Seth Meyers is talking to Jake Tapper, Chelsea Peretti, and Steven Wilson Jr. So that's what's on the boob tube. Got a text earlier from Rob. Very excited about pitchers and catchers reporting. He texted in and said, "Happy baseball season, guys. Pitchers and catchers report today." I was saying that opening day of baseball should be a national holiday, much like I agree that they should either move the Super Bowl to Saturday or give us Monday off. And we got a text from someone who said Daytona Monday should be a holiday. Give me a break. No.
Well, it depends on where your passion lies. I see this. I see what's happening here.
Yeah, the Daytona is in the afternoon, though, right? Usually. The Super Bowl's at night. That's the problem. And it goes late
I don't know.
when there's overtime.
I think it depends. If there's a rain delay, the Daytona 500 can last a whole week.
Or if the track comes up.
Yeah. I mean, it could go all 7 days, 72 hours, that races.
Also got a text earlier from Chad. Wanted to hear some Volbeat. We'll try to get to that in a few minutes. If you want to get in touch with us, visit rockmornings.com. That's rockmornings.com.
Rock Mornings, Monday to Friday, 6 to 9.
The most romantic day in the history of forever. Today. Valentine's Day.
On a Wednesday.
In February.
Well, it's always in February, but
I know.
Not on a nice Friday or Saturday.
I know just where to find the answers, and I know just how to lie.
Man, Air Supply did not get out of their lane, did they? They knew what their strength was, and they stuck to it.
Hey.
Lost in love, even the nights are better. Making love out of nothing at all.
Yeah.
All out of love.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. Every woman in the world to me.
You can sing it. Sing it.
And I know just what to do.
A couple in Minnesota remodeling their home found a pair of love letters behind a wall that could be somewhere around 100 years old. From one guy to 2 different women.
Dear Susan, dear Catherine.
Something like that. Both were written by the same person, possibly a teenager who signed his name John B.
Okay, all right.
But he wrote the letters to 2 different girls. They're still trying to figure out who John B is. But before they sealed the wall up, they left a picture of themselves in it with a note for future homeowners to find. So that's kind of neat.
It's truly a mystery how any of this stuff made it into our wall. I'm like, am I reading this correctly?
Dear Pauline, I presume you think I don't love you because I did not answer your note right away. Are you going to the play?
Please tell me if you are going to the play tonight.
I hope you still love me. XXXX.
Upon reading some of them, we realized it was actually probably more likely a kid, like between the ages of 13 to 18. They were talking about, first lunch, I have study hall this period.
Definitely a kid.
It's good to see they had study hall in 1924. Homeowner Matt Tesmer and his wife, Carrie, doing some remodeling, tore down the wall, found these notes in there. Matt says, quote, "To us, it's kind of cool to see a little bit of the past. It's truly a mystery how any of this stuff made it into our wall." We've seen that time and time again.
Oh, yeah.
You know? November 2020, so 4 years ago, they decided to renovate their restroom, their bathroom, inside of their more than a century-old home. So this is a very old home.
Mm-hmm.
Process of peeling back layers and layers of paint and plaster just behind the toilet revealed treasures from lifetimes before. You got to see these pictures. It's pretty cool. Give them a Google. I don't know, Love Letters, Minnesota should pop up. But it's not the only thing they found. They found like all these old squeeze tubes of like all sorts of ointments and stuff. Matt says, quote, take some rubble, put it on the side, and there'd be more stuff after. It is trash to those people, but it's kind of cool to see the little bit of the past. Numerous toiletries.
Mm-hmm.
Toilet,
so 100-year-old stuff that's like, what is this?
He says there are a lot of Minneapolis brands in here.
Oh,
some of the medicine they use, all the razor blades, rose water, glycerin. Dude, it's actually pretty cool. The love letters are actually like the least cool thing, but like old packs of cigarettes and matchboxes, old bottles from like, you know, Grandpa's tonic and things like it's kind of neat. If you haven't seen the pictures yet, give it a Google.
Well, like your
my aunt and uncle
that found all that stuff and then ended up putting it in a display shop. That'd be kind of cool to put that in that new bathroom. You know what I mean? Like make a display cabinet with all those old things in that bathroom.
Put the love letters in the in like a shadow box. Put them on the wall.
That'd be cool.
Maybe you have a what is that? Not a prescription. Somebody scribes it or writes it. You know what I mean? Like somebody. I'm sure it's probably difficult to read, especially if you're sitting on a toilet from across the room. You know? Yeah, kind of neat. Couple remodeling their house found a bunch of stuff, including some love letters.
Aw.
Poor John B.
Well, he was
running hose up in there. He was. When you're a teenager, man, you're making cassettes and you're making mixtapes for a lot of different girls. You know, shoot or shoot, right?
That's exactly right.
John wasn't a one-woman kind of guy, at least not in his teen years.
Rock Mornings with Brian, Gene, and Shaw.
Scott Robert Shaw in the newsroom for another three-way. Snow is on everybody's minds. My wife came home yesterday, and she's like, what the hell? We're getting snow. I said, I guess. I don't know.
It's February in Wisconsin. We should be getting snow.
I told her, I was like, I didn't hear about it until Shaw told me yesterday. And what? Mm-hmm. So 3 to 5 inches possible during the overnight here in La Crosse. 1 to 3 inches possible in Eau Claire. Starting after midnight, you said?
Other way around. 1 to 3 in La Crosse, up to 5 in Eau Claire.
Oh, snap.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely on everybody's mind and what they're talking about.
It's going to be pretty short-lived, though. It's going to be a quick, intense little snowstorm.
Okay.
Be done by the time we wake up tomorrow, and by this weekend it should be gone when the temperature's warm.
But obviously impactful tomorrow morning as people make their
commute. Could be, yep.
Okay, could be. What else is happening?
Well, our winter weather advisory will take effect tonight for much of southwest Wisconsin and southeast Minnesota. La Crosse could see 1 to 3 inches of snow. Eau Claire could get up to 5 inches. The snow is expected to move in and out quickly, starting initially tonight as rain and then changing to snow during the overnight. Some areas could see snow falling at a rate of 1 inch per hour, but that snow is expected to end by sunrise tomorrow. The advisory begins at midnight and ends at 6 a.m. We've gotten a better look at the damage caused by Wisconsin's first ever February tornadoes. Emergency managers in Rock County say the twister that touched down near Evansville last week destroyed 3 homes, while 10 suffered major damage and 11 suffered minor damage. Just 1 person was hurt by the storm, but a few cows were killed. A Baraboo man has been arrested for his 6th offense of operating while intoxicated after a hit and run. On Monday night, police in Juneau County were searching for a vehicle possibly involved in a hit and run in Adams County. A trooper spotted the suspect's car and stopped it near the Wisconsin Dells. The driver, 71-year-old Doran Goodbear, was showing signs of impairment. He was arrested for several offenses, including OWI and failing to install an ignition interlock device. The Adams County Sheriff continues to investigate the hit and run crash. Probation is the sentence for 2 people who faked an armed robbery at an Ace Hardware in Rice Lake. A judge yesterday sentenced Jesus Miera of Chippewa Falls and Krista Buckwalter of Rice Lake for the robbery that happened at Jacobson's Ace Hardware back in 2022. Police say Buckwalter worked at the store at that time and that she and Miera hatched a scheme where he would come in and rob her. Investigators found a series of phone calls between the 2 suspects just before the robbery. In addition to probation, the 2 must make restitution to repay the $1,400 they took from the store. A 45-year-old man has been arrested in the theft of a bronze Jackie Robinson statue that was cut off at the ankles and found days later smoldering in a trash can in a city park in Kansas.
Yeah, I can't believe they don't think it's race-related.
They don't. Ricky Alderte was taken into custody in a what they're calling a kidnapping case. The theft
Was there
of the statue.
money for the? I mean, what was the
He's looking for the scrap. The guy's charged with 4 counts stemming from the theft and an earlier case. Police say there was no evidence that it was a hate-motivated crime, but rather the intent was apparently to sell the metal for scrap. Police in Wichita said this was only the first arrest and that there were more to come.
Crazy.
Yeah. And the good news is they got about $300,000 in donations from people who were upset by the theft and destruction of the statue. So they're going to be able to rebuild it and going to be able to make some improvements to the youth baseball park where that statue was stolen from.
Yeah, we talked about that last week 2 weeks ago when it happened. And Major League Baseball also said, from each of the 32 clubs in Major League Baseball, said we're going to donate some money to help improve that ballpark, the concessions area, also provide more security because they're going to put another statue back there. And it sucks, whether it was, racially motivated or profit related, I guess, that this had to happen. And hopefully it won't happen again. But
and the value of the statue is $75,000. What was the scrap on it?
$100 maybe?
That's what I'm saying.
It's like the copper wire that we had in the radio tower last week. The idiots broke in and saw that. Did all that damage and trying to steal copper, and it was worth $100. What the hell are you doing, big dumb idiot? Freeway with Scott Robert Shaw in the newsroom. We got your Killin Me Shaws coming up just after 8 o'clock. Are we prepared?
No, probably not.
Watched any movies recently?
We watched a movie I hadn't seen in a long time last night, The China Syndrome. That talked about the, incident at 3 Mile Island, nuclear disaster, all that stuff. Jane Fonda, Jack Lemmon, Michael Douglas, very good. We also saw in the last week Empire Strikes Back was on, so we, watched some of that. I think those are the only 2 movies we've seen in the past week.
I do not plan to quote either of those 2 movies after 8 o'clock this morning when we play your Killin Me Shaws.
Hi, Grandma. This is your grandson. It's Valentine's Day, and I do not have any money to buy my girlfriend anything. I would like to get her flowers, a box of chocolates, a Valentine's card, and a $500 Amazon gift card. Please help me. Just wire the money to my bank account. And remember, your grandson loves you very much. Grandson loves you very much. Son loves you very much.
Don't fall for it, Granny. It's a scam. The AI phone scam. They're warning seniors.
Don't
people.
give your grandkids money if they call.
My mom got one of those calls. She hung up on them, yeah.
Did they say they were one of your kids?
Mm-hmm. This is your grandson.
Did it sound like him?
No, I don't think so. She wasn't fooled at all, which is good. I mean, she's in her mid-80s. But she said, this is not my grandson. And she hung up.
Was it a person or was it an AI thing?
I don't know. Her hearing's terrible, so I'm not sure.
What? Sorry.
You are not Adam.
Right?
You are not Jack.
Did she say it sounded like Adam or Jack?
No, didn't necessarily, no.
All right.
So she just...
Because that's the AI thing, is they go to your YouTube or your...
And they mimic your voice, right?
And they only need like 6 seconds of you talking, and then they can mimic your voice and start making phone calls and trying to get money out of your grandparents.
My mother would say, I'm in assisted living. I don't have any money for you people anymore. Go away.
Obviously, experts are saying that...
But it could be easy to fall.
Warn your elderly people that are, prone to fall for scams.
Sure. It's a really
Tell them to call you and ask, make sure, if you know what I mean, like if you get a call from your grandkid asking for money,
well, I'm in
call
trouble,
the grandkid.
I need help.
And you hear that and you're, oh my goodness.
And especially if it's
That's what happened to Jerry's grandma, right? She went to when he cashed the checks and the bank called, right, Shaw?
I don't remember that one.
Seinfeld, he had all the $5 checks, and Kramer Kramer made him cash the checks, and then the bank account wasn't open anymore, and so they called her, and she goes walking around town trying to find the bank. Some other interesting Valentine's Day stuff. Obviously, today, the big day, Shaw. There's a new dating app. This is kind of interesting. We've got farmersonly.com. There's christianmingle.com.
Sure.
There's no shortage of apps and dating websites for people. Here's one for people who have good credit, which after you've been married, you realize is a very important thing. It might be the most important thing about marriage is
Probably
finding
not something most young couples discuss before marriage, but
that very serious, in-depth, and wide-open conversation about how we're going to spend money and where is it coming from and where is it going and all that. That is by far one of the worst things about marriage, Shaw, is money. It's called Score, and it's
What?
It's a dating app for people who have good credit.
And looking to score.
And are looking to, quote-unquote, score. You must have at least a 675 credit score to use it, which isn't, it's good, but it's not great. It's a dating app only for people with good or excellent credit. It hopes to, quote, help raise awareness about the importance of finances in relationships. And yes, they do a soft credit check to confirm that you have a 6. You can't just go and be like, yeah, I have a 720. And get on there and try to meet chicks.
They really do, huh? So you're probably employed, Shaw. That's a good thing.
Not necessarily.
You probably aren't horrifically in debt
to income ratio type stuff, right, Shaw?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, weed out those people.
Have you heard of candy salads?
No, I've not.
It's a fancy schmancy name for something we've all had for years and years and years. It's basically that candy dish that Grandma has.
Oh, yeah.
With Hershey's Kisses and M&Ms and maybe a Twix bar in there.
Mm-hmm.
So they call it a candy salad now, Shaw, FYI. So if your kids come up to you and be like, hey, when are we getting that candy salad?
So it's an assortment of candies.
Yeah, it's just a dish with candy sitting out on the open, like on the hutch or whatever. And if you're ordering food today or rideshare, it might not happen.
Yeah, strike going on, right?
Supposedly. They're saying that rideshare and food delivery drivers are planning a strike today as part of an ongoing dispute over pay and working conditions. I think it's everybody, right? It's Uber and Lyft and DoorDash and Eat Street and all these people.
Mostly impactful, I think, if you're at
bigger cities.
Bigger city and you're at an airport and you're trying to get from there to anywhere.
But yeah,
that's going to be a problem.
If you're planning on getting an Uber somewhere or whatever, it may take you a little while because apparently they're striking today. But there you go. Some Valentine's Day stuff.
Rock Mornings on 95.7 The Rock.
That, of course, is Candlebox with you. Rock.
If you're running your business, maybe a nonprofit, you probably have a website, and it probably has issues. Small to big problems you don't have time for. Websticks is a company with over 20 years creating and fixing thousands of websites. You only pay for the help you need. Have a little issue? Buy a few blocks of time. They never expire. It's kind of brilliant. That's why we bought the company. Go to MidwestFamilyLacrosse.com, a Midwest family company.
Stunning sights, more clicks, web support from Websticks.
Mornings with Brian and Gene. Candlebox, Copeland Park and Event Center in August.
I have never seen them.
Really? 30th anniversary of their debut album.
And I like me some Candlebox, too.
They are coming to La Crosse with Bush and Jerry Cantrell on Saturday, August 3rd. Tickets for that show online at CopelandEvents.com. We are working on a bus trip from Eau Claire. Very excited for that. Get your tickets online at CopelandEvents.com. Don't forget, the ticket prices go up on Monday, the 19th. Before that, we heard Daughtry, who's also coming to town in April at the La Crosse Center with Breaking Benjamin.
This is so exciting because it's the announcement of all the concerts, right? It's concert season.
Yeah.
It's like bam, 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 bam.
Working on a bus trip from Eau Claire for that one, too. More details soon.
Also going the other direction, working on buses from here to Rockfest.
Yeah. Yep. Rockfest, of course, coming up in July, and bus trips from La Crosse to Cadott should be online soon. The Milwaukee Bucks lost to the Miami Heat last night, 123-97. Bucks are now off until tomorrow night when they're in Memphis to face the Grizzlies at 7:30 on TNT. Steven Crowell, 16 points and 10 rebounds. A.J. Storr added another 14 points along with 12 rebounds. Number 20, Wisconsin, snapping their 4-game losing streak last night with a 62-54 win over Ohio State. Badgers are at Iowa Saturday at 1:15. That game will be on the Big Ten Network. And speaking of Iowa, their women's basketball team plays tomorrow night against unranked Michigan. Caitlin Clark looking to score 8 points or more and take the record from Washington's Kelsey Plum. Jenny Kavnar. You ever heard of her?
I don't think so. Do I? Have I?
NBC Sports California's newest primary play-by-play announcer for live game coverage of the Oakland Athletics, which makes her the very first woman ever to hold such a position in Major League Baseball history.
That is exciting.
There have been many women that have done broadcasting for Major League Baseball teams, color commentary, things like that, on the field, stuff like that, but she will be the first ever primary play-by-play announcer for a Major League Baseball team when she makes her debut with the Oakland Athletics this season. She'll lead the call for most A's broadcasts this season. She spent the last 12 years as the backup play-by-play announcer for regional television coverage of her hometown Colorado Rockies, also serving as a pregame and postgame host and reporter, but now she makes the big jump into the play-by-play announcer chair. Ooh. And as Shaw mentioned, the statue in Wichita of Jackie Robinson that was stolen from a park and subsequently found dismantled and burnt up days later in a dumpster. Apparently not racially motivated. Ricky Aldretti, charged with felony theft, aggravated criminal damage to property, identity theft, and making false information. The statue, valued at $75,000, stolen from McAdams Park, the home of League 42, which is a youth baseball league for about 600 kids that commissioned and erected the statue 4 years ago. Aaron Moses of the Wichita Police Department said, quote, "The investigation has not revealed any evidence indicating that this was a hate-motivated crime. We believe this theft was motivated by the financial gain of scrapping common metal."
A $75,000 statue for scrap metal
of an icon, like an iconic baseball figure,
I mean, driving around alleyways and and looking for stuff that people set out and
bikes, washing machines,
but to cut down
there's intent there. You know what you're doing. I mean, you're not just like, I found this on the side of the road. Yeah, alley property, bitch. I missed that lady. I gotta go watch that video. Makes me laugh every time. It's alley property, bitch. If you have no clue what I'm talking about, just Google alley property, bitch, and it should pop up. Some lady stealing rhubarb from some other lady's backyard and just not having it, man. Just not having it. Blackstone Cherry in a bit.
Rock Mornings with Brian, Gene, and Shaw.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Scott Robert Shaw in the newsroom. That, of course, was Blackstone Cherry.
So who's lucky enough to be born on Valentine's Day?
Well, Freddie Highmore is 32. He's the good doctor. I think that just came to an end, right? That series? Television show?
I haven't seen it.
Also, he played Norman Bates on A&E's Bates Motel a couple of years ago. Mm-hmm. But he's 32. Freddie Highmore. Denai Guerrera, 46 years young. She is Okoye in the Black Panther film. She's also Michonne in The Walking Dead. Her series, by the way, her spinoff, The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live, premieres on February 25th. So just 11 days from now. Yes, that's right, folks. There's another Walking Dead series.
Really?
Yeah, there's all the...
Are we done with walking through the dead?
No. As I said to Shaw yesterday, haven't they killed all the zombies yet?
Yeah.
No. They have not.
Why don't they just give up?
We talked about that yesterday.
Seriously.
Rob Thomas, the lead singer of Matchbox 20, is 52.
Push you around. Well, I will.
Wasn't that him and Carlos Santana, right?
Mm-hmm.
Smooth, wasn't that the song? Yep. Turning 54 years young today, the star of Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, Mission Impossible films, Scotty in the new Star Trek movie, Simon Pegg.
Take car, go to Mum's, kill Phil, grab Liz, go to the Winchester, have a nice cold pint, and wait for all this to blow over.
Sounds like a plan, Shaw. I love him, by the way.
Very funny.
Run, Fat Boy, Run.
Yes, that was hilarious.
So funny. When he wheels the guy in his landlord in the wheelchair to try and get sponsorship, and he just kind of pouts and opens his hands. His legs don't work. Oh my God, I died laughing. So funny. Simon Pegg, 54. Zach Galligan is 60. He's the star of the Gremlins films, and that's about it. We talked to him a while ago, a few years back. We interviewed him. He had a book, I think, that came out. And he also got busted stealing Deep Purple CDs. Remember that?
That's weird.
Wow, that is specific.
Yeah.
Very specific.
Yeah. Zach Galligan, 60. Jim Kelly is 64. Took the Bills to 4 straight Super Bowls. Didn't win one of them. But he did win in the game of life when he beat cancer.
That's right.
And MRSA, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, beat them both.
Ugh.
Teller, the guy that's quiet in Penn and Teller.
Penn and Teller, yeah, the Magic Act.
76. 70.
Mm-hmm. They've been around a long time.
Never seen one of their shows. I mean, I've watched some of the stuff on TV.
Me too. I've seen it on television, but not in person.
Not in person.
Mm-hmm.
She would have been 90 today. Born on this day in 1934, died in 2016. Carol Brady. America's Mom, right, Sean?
Mm-hmm.
From the Brady Bunch. I think you're born knowing the words to that song.
Kind of.
That show hasn't been on in, I mean, it's on reruns, obviously, but it hasn't been on since the 70s, right?
Yeah, 50 plus years.
And they made a couple of movies and stuff, but I think people come out of the womb just knowing the words to the Brady Bunch theme song. I was thinking about that this morning. I'm like, God, are we going to age out of that? Like, where people are like finding this thing in a...
I don't know. I think it's going to be in my brain until I die, probably.
February 14th, 1929, 95 years ago today. Where were you, Shaw?
I was putting another log on the fire and stirring me up some bacon and some beans.
Oh, look at you, Mr. Out there in the West, in the desert, settler guy.
You're a rancher now?
Long time ago.
While you were cooking up some beans and bacon, the St. Valentine's Day massacre occurred in Chicago. Al Capone's men, dressed as police officers, went to a garage owned by his rival, Bugs Moran, lined up 7 of the boys against the brick wall and gunned them all down, Shaw. The St. Valentine's Day Massacre. The original Dracula, starring Bela Lugosi, released on Valentine's Day in 1931. A minute ago. More recently, 1991, the movie Silence of the Lambs in theaters on Valentine's Day.
Good evening, Clarice.
That's right. It's not hello, Clarice. It's good evening.
Good evening.
1992, 1 year later, Wayne's World in theaters.
Okay, Garth, just sit there and he's going to put that thing on your melon, okay?
Just a trim. Don't buzz me, all right?
So tell me, Ron, exactly how does the suck cut work?
Well, as you can see, it sucks as it cuts.
It certainly does suck.
Why they made a second one, I'll never know.
Uh.
I mean, obviously to make money, but it sucks so bad. The first one was great. Wayne's World in theaters. 1992, Shaw. 1997, 27 years ago today, another all-time classic in theaters, Vegas Vacation.
Well, have some of the yellow. And don't get cheap on me.
2003, the movie Daredevil in theaters, 21 years ago, starring Ben Affleck as Daredevil, Jennifer Garner as Elektra, Michael Clark Duncan as Kingpin, Colin Farrell was Bullseye. Critics didn't like it. Had a good soundtrack, though. Some Rob Zombie on there. Not bad. 2005, Shaw, 19 years ago, YouTube was launched. That's right, YouTube's not even 20 yet.
20 years old, wow.
All right, so here we are in front of the elephants.
Zoo.
Cool thing about these guys is that they have really, really, really long trunks, and that's cool.
Elephants have really, really long trunks. That's
Thank
the cool
you for
thing
that
about
reporting.
them. Me at the zoo, the first video uploaded to YouTube.
And
19
look how
years
long
ago.
the trunk is.
Right.
It is.
Couldn't believe it.
Yeah. It, by the way, was created by 3 former PayPal employees. They bought it, or they sold it to Google in November of 2006 for $1.65 billion.
Wow.
Gosh.
The hell are we doing with our lives?
Woo.
11 years ago today, 2013, perhaps the worst of the Die Hard films. It's hard to say that because I love Bruce Willis and I love Die Hard. But A Good Day to Die Hard in theaters on this day in 2013.
Need a hug? We're not a hugging family. Damn straight.
They go to Russia. Kick Russian ass. Live Free or Die Hard? Okay. Good Day to Die Hard? Not so good. Wasn't good, Shaw. Not good. There you go. Some pop culture dates and birthdays on Valentine's Day. Oh. Right now, Shaw with the news. Three-way, what's happening?
The U.S. House of Representatives has voted to impeach Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas over the Biden administration's handling of the U.S.-Mexico border. In a historic rebuke of a sitting cabinet secretary, the Republican majority was determined to try again to impeach Mayorkas after having failed last week. Last night's vote was tight, even with the arrival of Majority Leader Steve Scalise, who's been away from Washington for cancer care. President Joe Biden called the impeachment of Mayorkas a blatant act of unconstitutional partisanship that is targeted an honorable public servant in order to play petty political games. It's not believed that the impeachment will pass the Senate, meaning he'll be able to stay in his position. A Wisconsin woman accused of killing a man who sexually assaulted her and other underage girls has been arrested in Louisiana after nearly 2 weeks on the run. U.S. Marshals took 23-year-old Crystal Kaiser of Milwaukee into custody on Monday. She's being held in a jail in Louisiana. She had been freed on a $400,000 bond while awaiting trial in the 2018 death of Randall Villar in Kenosha. She was charged with bail jumping after being charged last month with misdemeanor disorderly conduct in a domestic violence case at a Milwaukee home. A condition of her bond was that she not commit any crimes. If La Crosse County starts its own civilian board to oversee law enforcement, that board may have to limit its activities to areas outside the city of La Crosse. Mayor Mitch Reynolds says a committee created by the county should not have oversight power in city of La Crosse police matters.
This is solely something that's come about at the county level. This is not something that the city of La Crosse was interested in or pushed for in any kind of way.
The county board could vote tomorrow on whether to form a citizen review board. Mayor Reynolds says he would not allow the county to try asserting control over city government business. Republicans who control the Wisconsin State Assembly have approved a bill eliminating work permit requirements for even younger teenagers. Now, former Governor Scott Walker signed a bill in 2017 that eliminated work permit requirements for 16 and 17-year-olds. The bill approved yesterday eliminates permit requirements for 14 and 15-year-olds. The proposal comes amid a wider push by Republican state lawmakers to roll back child labor laws that, despite the efforts of federal investigators to crack down on a surge in child labor violations nationally, which has included Wisconsin. Supporters say the bill would help businesses hire much-needed workers faster. Governor Evers is likely to veto that proposal, however, which would eliminate the state's only means of gathering child labor data.
I will veto the bill. I'm very excited about it.
Very colorful governor.
Yeah, that guy. Next time we talk to you, man, $10
movie quotes
of my morning show money up for grabs. We'll see how you do. As I mentioned, not quoting Star Wars. What was he say? Empire?
Yeah.
Random.
Very random. Also random, I watched The Impossible this weekend. Right? Do you know what I'm talking about? It's the tsunami flick where true story of the family that was.
Oh, it's
Tom
the blonde girl.
Naomi Watts.
Naomi Watts, yeah. And so they're on vacation.
McGregor.
Yep. And it's a true story and how they survived the tsunami. Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I watched, and I told Shaw about it? I'm sure you saw it because you probably spent a lot of time on the boob tube while you were homesick. But Netflix has a new series or a new movie, a documentary movie called Lover, Stalker, Killer. Or Lover, Killer, Stalker or something like that.
I didn't see that one, but I did watch American Nightmare, which is the 3-part series of the couple who gets kidnapped or...
Yeah.
I did watch that, too.
Okay, so you did watch that? Okay, because I watched that.
I thought it was better than you led me to believe. Or
I told you it wasn't good?
Well, you said they were unbelievable.
Listening to the way he delivers the story, you're like... He's not his diction, the way that he delivers the story, it felt like he was not a believable character.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It felt kind of wooden and you know, just... And then her, when she came in, you're like... You thought there'd be a little more maybe passion about it, you know, like, and she seemed very sort of unemotional at first, and it was good.
It was good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's called Lover, Stalker, Killer, and it's wild. It's an hour and a half, so if you got some time, it's a true story. It's not a fictional retelling, FYI.
Rock mornings on your rock station.
Pop Evil with Footsteps, Rock Mornings with Brian, Gene, and Shaw. Got a message on Facebook from my friend Amy. Said 100% American Nightmare. Thought for sure he did it very unemotional. I just feel, as a person who's very animated when they tell stories, hands and vocal inflections and things like that. Maybe it's because I do radio for a living and have for a long, long time. The way he talked, just
when he was in
very monotone, just sort of, and it just seemed like not a real human. You know what I mean? He seemed kind of alien. Like he just didn't like. And maybe they coached him on that because they didn't want to give away the ending, I guess. But I just felt when I'm watching American Nightmare, it didn't seem like that guy was a believable. Like it just felt like
he was super subdued. Well, and I think now he's recording this from something that happened in 2007, right? It's they've lived through all of that, and I don't know. It was so specific, the things he was saying when he was being interrogated, that it was like it almost seemed like he couldn't make it up.
Well, and the fact that he wasn't doing the interviews from prison, you know what I mean, was a dead giveaway that it wasn't him. Got a text from Jake. Said, thank you for telling us about the rhubarb video. Tally property, bitch. Why'd you go over there? I don't care. Yeah. I love that video. It's still one of my all-time favorites. It's from a million years ago, but it's still funny. And I don't even care if it's not real. I don't think it's real. After all these years, I think it was a setup. But man, I laugh every time I hear, tally property, bitch. I can just imagine having a neighbor like that. Jake, enjoy that. Bring it to your friends. Show it to them. Tyler texted in and said, good morning, Brian, Gene, and Shaw. I saw this morning that June Big Granddaddy is coming out. So instead of Big Daddy, it's Big Granddaddy? Is that what he means?
I think so.
First I've heard of it. And Jim texted in, that lover stalker killer is crazy. No more dating apps for me. And I said, that dude should have learned his lesson the first time. Obviously didn't. Went right back in.
Ooh. Yeah. Okay.
It's nuts.
True?
Yes. Yeah, and it's from about 10 years ago.
Okay.
I called it right from the beginning. It's not too hard to kind of figure it out because it's
you see it happening.
Well,
right.
Think of it like, why would Netflix produce this unless it was crazy, right?
Right. Just an ordinary, regular story about people on dating apps.
We'll get to your Killin Me Shaws in just a couple of minutes.
More of your rock mornings coming up in just a bit. One of them can have an entire conversation made up of movie quotes.
I pity the fool.
The other two usually have no clue what the he just said.
You like movies about gladiators?
You love to party.
I'll be back. Wednesday mornings at 8:15. Win Brian's Morning Show money.
They're always after me, Lucky Charms.
By playing your Killin Me Shaws.
You're killing me, Smalls.
I want you to be nice until it's time to not be nice.
Only $10 this week. Not a ton of my money. But as always, I don't want to see it go out the door. I'd like to keep my money so I can put it in a spooky spin machine. What? A nice one yesterday.
I won.
On what? Oh, yeah, you're stupid 2 and 5. Oh, my God. Monday when you were I was like, of all the people that could win the stupid board with the stupid numbers, it would be you. After Shaw and I got done thrashing your numbers last week, when we found out you got 8s and 2s and 5s, you had the worst numbers of all.
I did.
And somehow you scored.
I don't know how.
And you got the good win. You got the $100 win at the end of the game.
Well, 80 because I put 20 in. But yes, still.
Wow. It's only $10 of my morning show money up for grabs today with your Killin Me Shaws. Gene, do you think he's going to get it or not?
No.
No, you're going with no.
No.
Why?
I'm just feeling negative, you know?
Well, you've been sick.
I have been.
And the boss is here today.
I am positive that I'm negative.
It was great for the last 2 days. He wasn't here. You show up, he's here. It's like the worst day of all time.
I know. It's a lot. It's all the things.
As always, Gene's opinion is irrelevant. It's all about caller 15 on the Rock line. 608-784-0957 is the number. You can give us a call and try to win $10 of my morning show money. If you're caller 15, you get to play. Please make sure you close your windows. Don't have any kids screaming and going crazy in the background. If you're working on a machine, maybe come to a stop. I'd like to be able to hear you on the phone. 608-784-0957. Caller 15 on the Rock line.
If you're running your business, maybe a nonprofit, you probably have a website, and it probably has issues. Small to big problems you don't have time for. Websticks is a company with over 20 years creating and fixing thousands of websites. You only pay for the help you need. Have a little issue? Buy a few blocks of time. They never expire. It's kind of brilliant. That's why we bought the company. Go to MidwestFamilyLacrosse.com, a Midwest family company.
Stunning sights, more clicks, web support from Websticks.
And gets to play your Killin Me Shaws.
Rock mornings. On air, online, on the app. One of them can have an entire conversation made up of movie quotes.
I paid the fool.
The other two usually have no clue what the he just said.
You like movies about gladiators?
We love to party.
I'll be back. Wednesday mornings at 8:15. Win Brian's Morning Show money
They're always after me, Lucky Charms.
by playing your Killin Me Shaws.
You're killing me, Smalls.
I want you to be nice until it's time to not be nice.
$10 of my morning show money up for grabs. No real pressure here today, Shaw, but we did have a winner last week, and I'd like to avoid that happening again. Jean does not think you're going to get it. She has zero faith in you. She didn't really give a reason.
Okay.
She was just excited that she won money with her stupid numbers on the stupid board upstairs.
That's right. Congrats.
Thank you. Thank you.
2 and the 5 somehow hit.
What are the odds,
Right?
Shaw?
Not
What
good.
are the odds?
As always, Gene's opinion is irrelevant. It's all about caller 15 on the rock line, 608-784-0957. Who dis?
Rachel.
Rachel, are you familiar with how to play this game?
Yes.
All right, Rachel, do you think Shaw's going to know the movie quote or not know the movie quote?
He's not going to know it today.
You're saying no. You're agreeing with Gene. And what are you going to do with $10 of my morning show money if you win, Rachel?
Probably go play some spooky spins.
Yeah!
No, Rachel, no!
Hell yeah.
It's $10.
$10. Are you 20 cents a spin or $4 a spin? Which one are you?
I'm a 4.
Yeah! A girl after my own heart.
Ugh.
I almost want to give her my $10 Shaw. Almost.
Mm-hmm. That's the kind of charity you can get behind, huh?
What did you say? When Sphincter DCK?
Something about getting behind?
Did you say he said cherry?
Charity.
Charity.
Oh, charity. I thought you said cherry.
No.
I was like, I'm not calling Rachel a cherry.
You're normally not willing to give up your money, but if she wants to spend it on spooky spins, you're suddenly
All of a
feeling
sudden,
charitable.
Yeah.
Actually, now that I've had time to rethink, I don't want her to get my money because if she hits on my
Right.
$10, then I not only am out the $10, but
You're out that jackpot.
Yes.
She knew exactly. She's
That's 2.5 spins, by the way, at $4 a spin. Unless you hit one in the first two
all right.
spins. And
Okay, all right.
anyways, Rachel, much like Gene, doesn't think you're going to get it, Shaw. I have a feeling you're going to know this one.
What?
Are you ready?
I think so.
Listen closely.
Toughened your nipples, didn't it?
Oh. What did he say?
I think he said, toughens your nipples?
Want to hear it again?
Please.
Toughened your nipples, didn't it?
Oh.
Or something with your nipples.
Your voice sounds very familiar, yes.
Yeah, it's noticeable. I'll give you that. Do you want to hear it one more time?
Sure.
Highly recognizable?
Toughened your nipples, didn't it?
Oh, my.
Yes.
Nipples, Shaw, nipples.
Senator. We're going... Gosh, we're going Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, yeah! One of my favorite scenes from that film. They wheel him out there with the mask on.
Uh-huh.
Did you breastfeed her? What will be tingling when there are girls on the slab?
I just watched that movie this winter
Take
for the
this
first time.
thing back
For
to
the first time?
Baltimore.
In years.
Oh, okay.
In years. And the first time with other people in my house who were like, what in the hell?
It holds up.
It's
Oh,
horrific.
yeah.
Anthony Hopkins as, of course, Hannibal Lecter in the movie Silence of the Lambs, which was in theaters on this day in 1991, Shaw. Good evening, Clarice.
Mm-hmm.
Did you breastfeed her, Senator? Love the suit. That scene is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Just awesome. Take this thing back to Baltimore.
Gonna go have lunch with a friend.
Yeah.
At the end.
I'm meeting an old friend for lunch.
Ella's like, I get it. He's gonna eat him. Yup.
$10 of my morning show money staying right where it belongs, Shaw. In my pocket.
In your pocket.
Until later today when it
You get
finds
to the
its
bar.
way into a spooky spin machine. Sorry, Rachel, you didn't win, but we'll double it for next week. It'll be $20 up for grabs with your Killin Me Shaws. Yeah, that movie holds up, man. The rest of them are okay, I guess. And obviously not having Jodie Foster and the rest of them, I think hurts it. But out of all of them, I thought the Red Dragon one was very creepy. He glues Philip Seymour Hoffman to that old rickety wheelchair and then sets him on fire. Yeah.
I didn't go any farther than silence.
You get Edward Norton in there, too. He's a hell of an actor. The one with Julianne Moore, though. He's feeding Ray Liotta his own brains. That one is... Nice job, Shaw.
Thank you.
I thought for sure you'd get it.
Pretty recognizable.
Yeah. It is a toss-up, though, man. There's a lot of good movies that came out on this day. I mean, between Vegas Vacation.
Yeah.
You missed out yesterday, Gene. You're lucky.
What?
Yesterday. You know what came out yesterday that I watched yesterday afternoon? Over the Top. Your favorite.
I love everything about that.
I went home and watched it just for you yesterday.
Nice.
I thought about putting it in there today, but Shaw, I had to go with...
I think we've done that one before.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Probably numerous times. We'll do it again next Wednesday. We got Bad News, Happy Music coming up. What can we expect in Bad News, Happy Music? What do we got?
Oh, let's see. A woman got gored by a bull, but that may have saved her life.
Oh, really? One of those, they found out something. Oh. All right. We'll get to that a bit later on. Thank you, Shaw. We'll get to sports, the Friggin Sports, in a bit. But first, it's a band that'll be at Rockfest this summer. Definitely going to be one of the best bands on stage at Rockfest because they're the best band on stage anywhere they go. It's 7 Dust.
Rock Mornings with Brian, Gene, and Shaw.
The Friggin Sports! Brian and Gene on your Rock Mornings. Not clapworthy, unfortunately.
Not clapworthy?
Just means we're going to talk about hockey. Sorry. People who run a fan podcast about the Columbus Blue Jackets have now apologized for making a suicide reference about a forward who is in the NHL and NHL Players Association Assistance Program, and then vowed to take steps to remedy their mistake.
Ugh, what happened?
If you want to read more about this, you can certainly Google it. I'll just kind of give you the gist of it, but the comment made on the most recent B&B Roundtable podcast as the members discussed the number of Blue Jackets players who were out of the lineup. One person on the program, the podcast, named Zach, made the remark about Patrick Lane, who entered the assistance program back on January 28th. Reaction was quick when the clip hit social media. Lane, who had not posted on Twitter in more than a year, wrote, quote, "This is just not okay." Guy's been Twitter silent for a year, dealing with whatever he's dealing with in the NHL assistance program. And these guys are making quips on their podcasts. He finds out and then posts on his Twitter, quote, "This is just not okay." Elaine Shercliffe, who was a guest on the podcast, said she would never appear again, saying suicide is not a joke.
Jeez.
The three people on the podcast go by Lil Boomer, SC Steve, and Zach. They've all apparently apologized to Lane, the team, and their fans. Lil Boomer said, quote, "I should have caught it, said something at the time. I did not. That is on me." He said he was going to step away from the podcast and, quote, "take some time to myself to get my head right." Steve, SC Steve, who laughed at the comment, by the way, apologized to Lane for his reaction, saying, quote, "It was wrong. I still hope you are getting the help that you went into the player assistance program for." Again, you can obviously read more about that if you want to give it a Google, but a podcast by fans about the Columbus Blue Jackets making references and
to a player who's
about suicide, to a player who's
clearly struggling
with something.
Yeah.
Regardless of what it is, what it's for, the guys in the program, and any man will tell you that is a massive first step. Admitting that you've got an issue and seeking help. We talk about it all the time. Mental health is coming up. May is Mental Health Month, and we talk about men and how stupid we are and how we don't ask for help. We don't want help. We don't seek help. And it's a machismo thing. It's, part of our DNA sometimes.
And he is.
And this guy is trying to get help, and these guys are,
Rock Mornings, only on 95.7 The Rock.
We're about to enter a beautiful, exciting, wonderful new world.
A cockroach living in your nostril. Now that's just nasty. Add in some haven't pooped for 30 days.
Poop is raining from the ceilings. Poop.
And sprinkle in some #Florida Man for flavor.
Florida man.
Florida man.
Florida man.
Florida man.
Florida man.
Florida man.
Florida man quits his Burger King job, steals all of their chicken nuggets.
It's bad news.
Bad news.
With happy music.
Let's rock.
What do we got today, Shaw?
Well, yesterday we had the story of a Methodist pastor who was charged with dealing meth. The pastor was arrested after police said he was selling methamphetamine from his house, and at the church, they arrested 63-year-old Herbert Miller when he was found in possession of crystal methamphetamines in both rock form and liquefied into a hypodermic needle. He was the pastor of the First United Methodist Church. The latest on this story, now police believe Miller was providing the meth, and in exchange, he wanted to see couples having sex.
Oh, my God.
What?
This dude was breaking all
the laws, all the commandments.
Man. Yeah. Did he not read the Bible?
Apparently not.
How long was that going on?
I'm not sure.
Wow.
Did couples...
I assume we're taking him up on his offer?
In exchange for meth, huh?
For meth, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Pastor.
Man, that is also...
Did they have was that on the...
Because he was dealing it out. Well, he was dealing it out of the rectory.
Yeah, he was dealing it out of
Were they doing it in the rectory? Or was he going to their house?
That I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, either way, it's pretty bizarre.
Where was this at again?
Connecticut.
Oh, man.
A plane landed safely at the Buffalo, New York airport after a door fell off the plane mid-flight.
Never flying again.
The single-engine plane landed at Buffalo Niagara International after the pilot reported losing the left rear passenger door. 2 people were on board at the time. The private plane lost its door as it flew over the Buffalo area. There were no injuries or property damage. Police are searching the area for the missing door.
We had that jet where the door plug came out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like...
And now a private jet with the door popping off?
Private plane, yeah, small plane.
I'm never getting on a plane again. Never. I think I'm done. I think I'm... Yeah, well, have fun. Nice knowing you.
Good luck, yeah.
All right, what's the dates on that so I can schedule interviews with a new co-host? Because Gene ain't coming back. You may have won that.
Come on,
you won
now.
that $80, and that might be the end of it.
Time, Sean.
Oh yeah,
all
all the time. Yeah,
all the time.
Yeah.
I like mine with doors, though. Could I have my flight with doors?
Please. Securely.
Bring some duct tape.
fastened.
Yes. That'll fix it.
A mother in Cincinnati is facing charges after police say they found her 4-year-old child driving a car with a 2-year-old inside.
Hell yeah.
The mother, Teresa Smith, a 23-year-old, is in jail on 2 counts of endangering children. Cincinnati police responded to a parking lot on a report of a domestic incident. Officers arrived to find Smith's 2 young children unattended inside a car. The 4-year-old was sitting in the driver's seat and actually driving the car, moving it back and forth in a parking spot. So it wasn't going far, but still had command of the vehicle.
In gear?
Yeah, a 2-year-old also was inside the running car. Police stopped the vehicle and were able to put it in park before arresting the mother of the year.
Pull over. All right, how much have you had to drink? Come on, baby, give it up. Where's the crack?
Wow.
Where are the
Moving
drugs?
it back and forth.
4 years old. I don't know how he's reaching the pedals, but...
Well, no, you pop it into gear and it
just starts rolling?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of motion, right?
Yeah, maybe he's just going back and forth.
Where was the mom?
She was nearby, not inside the vehicle, however. She was in the area, but not in the vehicle.
Did she get out and just forgot the kids and then they took over?
I could speculate on a lot of things, but don't know the answer to that.
Maybe went into the store thinking they'll be fine and then comes out, oh no.
Police have arrested 6 members of a drug gang in Cancun, Mexico, that allegedly killed and hacked up 5 people with a machete and dumped 3 other victims in a shallow grave. The gang, which prosecutors say also engaged in extortion, was protected by a network of motorcycle taxis and others who acted as lookouts. They also announced the arrest of 23 people on charges they operated a fake tour agency that served as a cover for their drug sales. The suspects operated a call center in which they offered sports equipment and tour packages to tourists but never delivered them.
Bro.
On the second floor, they had a complex operation in which drug deals were allegedly made over the phone and then delivered by motorcycle.
Man, those dudes.
Right? They don't mess around.
They really had a business model that they were following there. Fake travel agency?
Yep.
Come on down, people from America.
We'll take your money and
then we'll kill you and hack you up.
Hack you up.
Yeah. A woman in India who was thought to be dead woke up again moments before she was about to be cremated.
Oh, my God. She's on the slab getting rolled in.
Like fire?
She was not quite that close, but that was the plan. This woman had been severely burned in a fire in her home back on February 1st. She was taken to a hospital with severe burns and then was sent back home. A few days later, she didn't open her eyes. The family unable to get her to another hospital because they were too poor. Her husband believed she died and arranged for her to be taken to the cremation ground in a hearse. But then the woman opened her eyes. The driver of the hearse was called back to collect her, living and breathing, only an hour and a half later, and she was taken home in the same hearse.
I'm not dead.
Yeah. He says he's not dead.
Yes, he is.
I'm not.
Can I go somewhere other than home?
Right.
It doesn't feel like I'm getting a lot of
Not
care
good
there.
care
You know
there,
what I'm
right.
saying? Like
You're too
that.
poor
Like,
to take me to the doctor.
Did you listen to see if you could hear breathing?
Mm-hmm.
Did you put your head down to the chest for the heartbeat or anything? Just go.
Yeah, she looks dead.
Her eyes are shut. Get her out of here.
A woman in Florida who was attacked by her own bull back in November.
Like a bull?
A bull, yes. Got some unexpected news while she was in the hospital getting treatment for her injuries. The woman's name is Teal Mull. She was on her ranch when she walked outside and saw her son getting whammed by their 2,000-pound bull they call Barry. Her next decision was
Bury the bull.
The one only a mother could make. With her son knocked out, she tried to block the bull.
Yeah.
She said, "I regret that, but I also don't regret it." The bull chased her in circles until eventually ramming and goring her. She was then knocked to the ground by the bull.
Where did it gore her?
I think in the abdomen. She suffered broken ribs and she had a lot of bruises. Anyway, her brother was able to come over with a tractor and push the bull away and get her to a hospital. When she was at the hospital, they took some scans, which revealed something else besides the bruises and broken rib. She had lung cancer.
Oh, my God.
The cancer had the potential to kill her within a year. But doctors were able to remove the tumor 2 weeks ago, and the other day she got the good news that her cancer had not spread, and she is now cancer-free.
Don't mess with the bull, young man. You'll get the horns.
Whoa.
Did they grill that bull up afterwards?
No, Barry's still there. She says they have a new understanding, though. She gives him plenty of space.
I hope you don't mind. I got up a little early, so I took the liberty of milking your cow for you. Yeah, it took a little while to get her warmed up. She sure is a stubborn one. Then, pow, all at once.
We don't have a cow. We have a bull.
I'll brush my teeth.
Is his name Barry?
Barry the bull, yes.
Barry the bull.
And a 41-year-old drunk man who vomited pizza all over himself and passed out in front of a Denny's restaurant in Arizona was arrested on criminal trespass and disorderly conduct charges. Bryson Lewis was found asleep outside the Denny's. He was approached by a guy who woke him up to check on him. The guy woke up and said he was a gangster and began telling the guy to fight him. Well, police were called, and they saw Lewis stumbling, unable to keep his balance. He was slurring his words and smelled of alcohol. They said he was also covered in pizza and regurgitated food. The man was uncooperative and repeatedly told officers he was a, quote, gangster. He was then taken into custody and now faces up to a year in jail.
Pizza.
Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life, son.
Spend all that money and time on alcohol and pizza at the end of the night just to yak it all up on yourself.
On yourself, yes.
You big, stupid idiot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do with these people, Shaw?
Mm-hmm.
He's a gangster.
He is a gangster. Gangsters don't puke pizza.
No, they don't.
As far as I know. I don't think that's a lyric in Gangsta's Paradise by Coolio.
Right.
But maybe I missed one. Maybe I missed one of the lyrics, Shaw.
It's possible.
They might pop a cap, but they aren't barfing up pizza.
As I walk through the valley in the shadow of death, I take a look at my pizza and realize I have none left. Because I've been drunk and eating my pizza, and now here it comes again.
It's on my shirt.
I don't think there's anything about pizza in Gangsta
No.
Paradise there, Shaw.
This guy's making his own rules.
You better watch how you're talking and where you're walking, or you and your homies might be lying and chalk.
Lion and chalk. I heard that. I haven't heard anything about pizza yet.
I see myself in the pistol smoke. I'm the kind of G the little homies
wanna be like on my knees on the prayer to the afterlife. Living in the gangsters. I don't hear any pizza. No word. Nothing. No mention of pizza yet. Nothing. All right.
Pizza and then at Denny's, there was a lot of food.
Haven't you had enough? The hell are you going to Denny's for?
Yeah, that's what
you
I'm
obviously
saying.
can't handle the pizza.
That's what I'm saying.
Some moons over my hammy are going to do the trick? Get out of here with that.
You don't need any more, maybe. Mm-mm.
Bad news, happy music. Thank you, Sean. Yeah. Talk to you tomorrow.
Rock mornings, Monday to Friday, 6 to 9. Call.
Hello.
Email.
I tried emailing you.
Text. So many ways to check in with us.
Check.
We rely on you guys for traffic updates, requests, and all sorts of other stuff.
Check this out.
Calls, emails, text messages. Get in touch with us. Visit rockmornings.com. A lot of text messages. A couple of Facebook messages. Got one from Bonnie who said, Happy Valentine's Day to you and the three-way. Thank you very much. Amy said, 100% American Nightmare. Thought he for sure did it. Very unemotional. I just thought the way he spoke seemed like a person who
wasn't
emotionally invested in what actually happened to him. It seemed very detached. And as you mentioned, maybe it had something to do with the fact that it was many years in the past. But
and
I still
had
just
to get through all that trauma. They kind of that was kind of how it was like people that had been through a trauma and they talked about it.
Yeah, I guess
also, he didn't seem like that kind of a guy in general, right? Like his demeanor overall seems pretty...
Yeah, American Nightmare is the name of the program, and it's on Netflix. I think it's still on there. You just watched it. I told you about it a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago when I watched it, and it's like, what, 4 episodes, I believe?
3,
and it's, yeah.
I didn't think...
it was good. I was
in some sort of a...
Watching him talk about what happened, I'm like, this seems like one of those dudes where you have a hard time believing anything he says.
Dayquil haze, I think, is where I was at.
Dan wanted to hear some Disturbed. He texted in earlier. We just did some. Chad wanted some Volbeat. Never got around to it. Sorry, Chad. Rob texted in and said, Happy baseball season, guys. Pitchers and catchers report today. Brewers, pitchers and catchers today, I believe. Their first spring training game, the 24th. We were talking about the day after the Super Bowl being a holiday. I was also saying that opening day of Major League Baseball should be a holiday. You get the whole day off, go home, watch baseball. Mm-hmm. Somebody texted in, Daytona Monday should be a holiday. Yeah, that's never going to happen. Just take the day off. Got a text from Jim. Said, thank you for telling us about the rhubarb video. I said, you're welcome. He said, I'm showing it to my mom and my aunt. I also sent him a link to another video, one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah.
Can you guess which one it is?
Your all-time favorites?
One of my all-time favorites.
Is it,
Hey, my nuts itch. Can I scratch them real quick?
No, wait till we finish it.
Damn, they itch.
Just under Florida law, you are required to take a chemical or physical breath test to determine the alcoholic content of your blood and or a urine test to detect the presence of a chemical or controlled substance.
They itch. Will you scratch them for me?
No, I don't.
Do you understand? If you refuse to take the chemical or physical breath test or the urine test, your driving privileges will be suspended for 1 year for a first refusal.
They really itch.
They itch.
All right, just hold still. In 18 months.
In 18 months, if you have previously refused these tests. Additionally, your refusal is admissible into evidence against you in any criminal or administrative proceeding. Do you understand?
This ain't funny.
Okay, I'm going to interpret this as a refusal. Okay.
Yeah, Jim and I now apparently trading back and forth or Jake and I, videos that make us laugh. That was another one of my all-time favorites.
That's a really good one.
Jim texted in earlier and said that lover, stalker, killer is crazy. No more dating apps for me.
No.
I think they're fine. You just got to look. That guy didn't learn his lesson. There's a lot more to the whole story. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about.
I got to watch that now.
Yeah.
It's one episode. It's one.
It's a movie. It's like an hour and a half.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not a bunch of episodes. Jay in Kentucky listens online, I believe, says that pastor preached at the Church of Crystal Methodist. Ba-dum-bum. Rob, our friend, says, spent the night at a casino in Kansas City, now off to the parade today. First championship parade I've been to. He's a Chiefs Nation guy.
Made
fan.
the big trip down there.
Well, you've had opportunities. I mean, this is the third one. Mahomes,
Dynasty.
Yeah, so. Yeah. Thank you very much for all the correspondence. Good to hear from you guys. We'll talk to you tomorrow.